Awesome. Awesome facilities. We got to go up in the grandstands, and fans were awesome. And excuse me, but you couldn't ask for a better place. We come here and watch a truck race when they were here, and it's just somewhere where you want to come watch. I live down there in Florida. I don't care to go to Daytona. It's boring. I lived in Charlotte there. Don't care to go watch there either. And I'm looking forward to watching watching the nationwide race tomorrow. And I got some friends in there, so hopefully they run good. But this place is pretty cool.
As far as the track itself, what have you raced on that's similar to a place like Newton?
Similar. We've been to Nashville Super Speedway. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that place. The way the corners are, how you charge them. We've been to Milwaukee Mile. That's kind of not close. I would say it's closest to Nashville that I can compare it to. The places that I've been. I would think it'd be like a Richmond, something along them lines. But corners, it reminded me, getting down in the corners and getting through the corners reminded me a lot of Nashville.
It looked like before the break, Kenseth and Storm kind of pulling away a little bit there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you make some changes at the break that made a big difference? Or
well, I ran the very first couple laps of the race. I was all over the place. I was sliding, skating from the top to the bottom of the top. I wasn't very good. And, we settled down. We thought it was some Goodyear rubber that got laid down by the Nationwide cars and got settled down there. And I ran that 76 laps like it was a qualifying lap. I ran it for all I had. Picked some cars off, and, they got up there battling. Lap cars were in the way. Which is not right, but we're able to capitalize on it, and so when we come in to make the changes, we knew exactly the worst that we could be. That's the worst we can be at the end of 76 laps, and I told him, I said, I feel like me and Roth, are super close, same speed, and if I can just get out there and maintain with them, not mess up, and just keep them honest, and we were able to capitalize it on a lap car issue. Lap car was kind of not in the right position, but short track race.
Good. You and Ross both look like the top, the outside was the way to go. Did you find that you had more grip on the outside as the night went on, or was it always more grip on the outside?
Well, it was just, like, once we got going, my car worked best on the bottom. I got up on the top, and it just didn't have no grip. The cars, even from practice to qualifying to the very first couple laps after a restart, the cars just had a ton of grip. You could go anywhere, tires were cool, and you're able to just get up on the outside and hold that guy down, and it was just hard for him to be able to get a run up off the corner. That was just the hardest thing about passing. Looked under Kenseth a couple times and just had to feather the gas off of 4, because the car, I just didn't have enough room there. So on the restarts, the outside was definitely the place to be, and I'm glad we had to go the inside once in the first 76 laps, but other than that, we were able to start up on the outside. It worked out pretty good for us.
And one thing you had mentioned earlier this week is that you like to run where there is competition.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
How was the competition?
Oh, it's stout. Yeah, you can't ask for much more. Tim's running the nationwide race tomorrow, Ross and his dad, and all the other guys. You look, I don't necessarily know them or raced with them before, mm-hmm. But you don't have to know who they are. Just look at the timesheet. Look at the qualifying order. They're all there. Times are all there, and they're clean drivers. I didn't know. Like, I had to go up to and ask who I was behind to go out, to do the driver introductions, because I just didn't really know who anybody was, and it's cool. Hopefully, I earned my respect tonight. I raced with Kenseth before, and he's a clean driver. It was a lot of fun racing with him. Like I said, hopefully we can go on to Cedar Rapids and do the same thing there.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Jeff?
Dean Reller, Speed Talk on 1360 Radio. Your impressions of the ASA Midwest Tour, you are very pleased with it. What really drew you to run up here with the guys up in the Midwest?
Well, I drive for Gary and Liz Adrian Carriers and Liz Girl Logistics out of Moline area, Quad Cities. And, this is where they're from. They live for Iowa Speedway, and I can see why now. Like I said, coming to watch a truck race, I'd want to come. This is where you want to come watch, and just to be able to get a win for them here it means a lot. It's just cool. All the officials, very professional. The track, very cool. You go to most tracks, and you can't get in a Nationwide garage. I mean, they're like, oh, you're a late model guy. You don't have a pass to get in here. You know, we went to St. Louis and couldn't get over in the truck garage. So to be able to go anywhere, and tomorrow, you know, I mean, we're not even racing, we're not a part of it, but we have passes to come down in here, and it's cool. You don't get to see that stuff every day, and it's neat. I can't thank these guys enough.
Setup for the car, obviously no experience at this racetrack or anything like that. Did you guys really seem to hit the setup right away?
Yeah, well, I mean, bigger places like this, you know, I mean, it's a lot of setup, you know, and the crew chief, Nick Carlson, has been here before a couple other times, and, you know, I mean, very knowledgeable. I mean, the guy knows, you know, he can, I guess I can say now he can read me kind of like a book, because sometimes I try to explain it to him different ways, and he kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah. Like the fourth time I explained to him, he's like, yeah, I got it the first time, kind of, but.
And you're talking about Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and, you know, it's cool, you know, I mean, to be able to work with people like that, and, you know, I mean, he knew what, we worked on it, I mean, we only got, an hour and a half of practice, I think. The second half got cut short. So it's cool, you know, to be able to come here and have a good car put underneath you.
Anybody else?
Jeff, Dave Jones, Pepsi Inside Track. Late there in the race, down in turn 1 and 2, seemed like you could really carry a lot of speed into that corner, but yet you were rolling right around the bottom, right on the line. You were getting off turn 2 lower than everybody else. It just seemed like your car, even though I don't know if you were taking it any easy at all the last 2 laps, but it was like the car could just do that all night if you needed to.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody before we got here, so that's the hardest corner to get through, 1 and 2. The bump, the tunnel where they put the tunnel in, there's bumps down there. There's bumps there. They didn't really upset us too bad. I don't think they upset the other cars too bad, but I struggled a lot down there in 3 and 4, and that's where I lost a lot of my time. And we made it back up in 1 and 2. I definitely started running harder there towards the end. Kansas was catching me a little bit. I could see him in my mirror, and I didn't want to give him a chance to get close, get caught up behind a lap car, and catch me, you know, because of that. So definitely there towards the end was running hard, and for some odd reason, I don't know why it is, but your car always handles better out front when you're leading. So it was a lot of fun, and you know, like I said, I hope I get to do it again.
On a lot of tracks, when you get up on somebody's door on the inside, the battle's won, but that's not the case here at the Iowa Speedway, is it?
No, not at all. Like I said, I struggled really bad through 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I knew a lot of times I could have got underneath guys, but I knew as soon as I get down there in 3 and 4, I'm going to not be able to run my line, and I'm going to get pinched down, lose more time. So I would just try to tuck up as tight as I could behind them and be able to get somewhat of a run off of 4, and to be able to complete the pass down in 1 and 2, because I was better, I felt like, than the average car down there.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Jeff, Matt Kenfield, Speed 51. Do you kind of have a feeling of invincibility when you get into that 29 car? Because you think of what you did in the Challenge Series last year. You won the vast majority of the races that you ran there. You're basically 1 for 1 this year. And I know, North Wilkesboro, you were pretty darn close to winning there too. Do you kind of just feel a little air of confidence when you strap into that car?
Oh, confidence for sure. You know, like I said, the people around the car, the people that prepare the car, 1,000% dedication. Invincibility, not at all. I mean, there's a ton of competition out here. At any given time, you could go from one in a race this week, and we could go over Cedar Rapids and, you know, maybe run top 10. You know, so the competition is so high, but definitely confidence without a doubt. You have no question in your mind when you're out there running. You're not thinking about this or thinking about we could have done that, because everything's already been done.
Where does this one rank? Governor's Cups, everything else that where does this one rank?
I did an interview with her earlier in the week, and it ranks pretty high. You know, this one, the Governor's Cup used to be big, but it's not so big no more. You know, and times have changed, and this is the ASA Midwest Tour. You know, this is one of the biggest things going. Iowa Speedway, nationwide cars are here. Can't get much better than this. This is pretty big.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Thank you, guys.